Hi everyone, it's me Leigh with Victorian Dreams by Leigh. So thank you for stopping by. Let's get started. Let me get my other glasses because I think I might need them. So I have two on my head, one on my eyes, one on my head. Okay, so my last video you saw this 7 by 10 album and it stacked the deck, and we are going to uh, do a tutorial. So let me just flip through this really fast. It's got pockets, it's got tuck spots and tuck spots. This paper was a club kit through Shabby. Ooh, I don't know. Let me see. Shabby Art Boutique. Go to my last video and you can definitely get all that information and look at this quickly. But anyway, it's just a really cute. But anyway, um, yeah. So let's just make this album. Okay. And I will also link this smaller album. It's 8.5 by 5 with a 1-inch. Yeah, 8.5 by 5. I did this tutorial, which is a little bit smaller, the same way, stack the deck. And I am using the same color black, and I really hope y'all are going to be able to see it. But yeah, so let's get started. So I said I want to make a bigger album from this one. So this is what I start thinking and doing and playing with and scoring and testing. This is how I did it. So then I got my notes. And here are the notes if you want to screenshot them. That's all it is. 8 sheets of paper, and then you're going to need pattern paper on top of it. But let's walk through it and do this. Okay, so first we're going to need to cut 4 papers that is 7 by 10. I use linen 80-pound cardstock. It's pretty heavy. It's pretty nice. So 4 papers, 7 by 10. Okay, and we're going to put that off to the side. We don't even need to touch it. Then we need 4 more papers, and let's get my scoreboard out. And we're going to need 4 more papers. So the first paper we're going to need is 8.5 by 10. 8.5 by 10. And you score this all, do all scoring on the short side. So not on the 10, but on the 8.5. So on the 8.5, we are going to score at 7. So all of them will be at 7, all 4 of these, but this first one is at 7. And the second score is at 8. And we just made, what we need is stacking the deck in between these 2 score lines. So let's see if you can see. Let me see if I can get a score line. I don't know if you can see. Okay, right there. There's 2 score lines. In between those 2 score lines, we're going to stack the deck. This other 1/2 inch right here, we're going to fold up and we're going to attach the 7 by 10s. So let's just do all our scoring. So let's put this one back. The next one we're going to score and cut is, this is 8 1/4. 8 1/4 by 10. We are not scoring on the 10, we are scoring on the 8 1/4. So on the 8 1/4, we're going to score at, let's line this up nice and neat, at 7 again. All 4 are going to be on 7. And the next one is 7 3/4. So that's a 1/2, and that's the 3/4. So there we go. So then we are going to put this off to the side. The next one out of the 4 we need, this is 8 by 10. 8 by 10. We are not scoring on the 10, we're scoring on the 8. So let's put this there and let's score on the 7. scoring on the 7. And the next one will be 7.5. So we're going down. Whoa, that kicked over. So let's take our time. We're going down 1/4 each time. So we have a half over here to add another sheet of paper, and then we have the stack the deck in between those two score lines. So let's put that there. And our last piece is 10 by 7 3/4. 10 by 7 3/4. So we're scoring at 7. And we are scoring at 7 1/4. So it is right there. There's white coming off my score. Okay, 7 1/4. So there we go. We are done with the scoreboard. Now, all we do is take a bone folder and we score or fold up. Let's see. I have to remember, when scoring for a card, fold back on the raised side. The valley is the good side. So I see the valley, so I'm actually going to flip this over and I'm going to score or fold that one over, that one half. And we have a score. This is the size 7 3/4 by 10. We have a score line, and then we have the fold, and then we have that little lip. That little lip right there is what we are going to take one of the 7 by 10s, and we are going to just glue it together, and it made the page. Okay, so let's do all of them at one time, and then we can put our bone folder up. Okay, so now let's go ahead and find that other crease. Take our time, find that other crease, and make a gusset. So we're going to do both. So, okay, so what we have here is, see that little L shape? See? So the little flap is what we're going to glue our next sheet to, but we also have a gusset. Okay, so there we go. Let's put that off to the side for 1 second and do all of these. Let's flip it over, and we're going to fold, burnish, and we are going to fold. Let's make sure it lines up. Yep, and burnish. And so see, it made another gusset. See how my finger can fit through there? And that's the hinge gusset. And this flap right here, we're going to put the other sheet to in just a second. So let's just put that there, and let's do the other two really fast. So I buy my linen cardstock in Dallas at a wholesale company. So if you have a paper company in your town or close by, that's where you can buy wholesale paper. So see how it's getting thicker or wider, and that piece is for our extra sheet of paper to make it the right size. Okay, and our last one. And let my fingernails prep that paper. That way it doesn't crack or anything. So see how wide it got? So all of these papers would stack into that. And they're all the same size. They're all 7 by 10. And then the stack the deck will be there. So half of it's done. So what we need to do now is put tape on all these little lips and glue the other 4 pieces together that we have. So let's do that real fast. And it doesn't matter what size and what one you start with. So I am going to, I could have prepped this and had it all done for you. I am going to put 1 piece of tape on this, but I'm mostly going to also use glue. And this is when I'm shading out my glasses now for better glasses. I'm not even going to go to the edge because I don't want the glue sticking out. So always burnish down your tape, because if you don't, you'll get air bubbles, and that is when it won't stick throughout the years. Take that off. I use art glitter glue. Ugh. Debbie made me this. Isn't it beautiful? And she makes them for people. That way you don't lose your pen, because you have to have a specialty tip pen, and it's a dangle, and it's so sweet. It says made with love, but thank you, Debbie. And she makes them all the time, so if you want one, just ask her. So let's put some glue. Hopefully it's not, okay. It's clogged, so let me put my pen in there, jig it a little bit, and hopefully it'll come out. It has been really cold, so I hope it didn't get cold. There it comes. So I am putting the glue on the tape and right before that score line, and then close to this edge. I only do it for hinges. I don't have to always double. Okay, so we're taking one of our 7 by 10s, and we're putting it on this sheet, and we want to right up to the score line but not over it. We only have a second to line it up straight. This is the hardest part of the whole album. And there you go. And if it comes out, that art glitter glue dries clear. So what we've done is now we've made the album where it is now 12, 14, well, 7 and 7, 12, 14 and a half long, but there is our first one. This is the smallest one, so let's put that off to the side and do all. I don't think I need to talk on every one of these, so let me just try to do it. I don't know how to fast forward, and also I'm very sorry, so y'all have to put me on speed 2 and fast forward, or move the bar, or just hang out with me for just a second while we do this. This is a beginner's album. Stacking the deck is a very easy and nice way to start. You can always add extra pages. This hinge right here can always be added to add extra pages. Let's see a better way to make this easier. So this is going to that. Okay. Alright, got 2 more to go. And then we'll stack it real fast. Stacking is actually faster than this. But this album, you can get the whole album created and pattern paper on top, and I'll give you the pattern paper sizes in just a second. but you can even probably make the whole album and put pattern paper on top within 1 hour. Now the extra pockets and decorating, probably 30 minutes to another hour, depending on how fast you are. Hey, why does that keep only doing half? It's got a piece of tape. So I don't always trust the tape. So I add glue, and I didn't put tape all the way to the edge, so that's why I like glue too. Let's see, if I fold that over, I'm having an easier time seeing it. So I'm sticking it on that piece, following the score line to keep it straight. My fingers feel and all that it is straight, and I push it down. It came over just a hair, so let me pull it. Yep, I was able to pull it. That glue gives you a chance to move it, and that tape hasn't taken hold yet, so that was nice. And a little glue came out, so I just move it with my fingernail off. We burnish it down, have a good seal. And then this is the next to the last, so see how we're stacking them already, but we have to also glue it to the hinge. So we have one more here, and then we will stack it. Okay, we don't need any more tape for a few minutes. This is a nice, easy project. You don't go through a lot of paper, so when you're learning, it's nice. Okay, and the glue. There we go. And then our last 7 by 10, we are going to, having to move this around a lot. Let's see if I come closer on this last one, if it helps you. Nope, that's the wrong way. So it helps you. So I am going to put my finger there, follow that score line, put my finger there, and I feel to move it around. I feel that it's level and level. And then we score it down. Okay. All right, guys. So now all we do is put the largest one off to the side for just a minute, and it is the 8.5 by 10. But the other 3, and you can tell because in between the score lines is the size. Don't get confused with the hinge, but in between the 2 score lines that fold up, we now need to put tape on the outside of all 3. Okay, so I'm going to do 1 piece of tape on each one, or 2. Let me see what fits. I could fit, I'm going to put 1 for time's sake, but I'm going to put 1 piece of tape, but you could put 2. So there's 1, and we definitely burnish it down to get the air bubbles out. The air bubbles is what's going to cause problems. Okay, and then this one is the 8 by 10, and it is a little bit smaller. My finger doesn't even fit through the whole thing. And we put tape in between the score lines on the outside of the album. The outside of the album. And we put that off to the side, and we get the little last one. And I do not have tape in front of me that will fit that. It's too wide because this is a 1/2 inch, and this is only 1/4, so we are not going to use it. Okay, but you would put tape there. Okay guys, so now let's get the biggest one that we started out with, and it's got the biggest gusset right here. And I'm going to tell you that measurement just in case. It is the 1 inch. Okay, so we're going to put that down in front of us. Then we're going to take the next size. Let's see if we have it right. 8 1/4, 8. Yeah. So this is the 8, 8 1/4, and this was the 7 3/4. So the next size up, the hinge part or the gusset will be 3/4. But don't get confused because you do have that lip that is glued to the paper. So there's that gusset, and we are going to take the tape off. We're going to glue the hinge. We only have 3 hinges to glue and we're done. So let's take the glue and stay in between the 2 score lines, and I really wish that this was a better color to see. We're staying in between the 2 score lines, and we're adding glue on top of that tape. Okay, so you can see. Now we're going to take this, and I am going to come back out in size. Let's see so you can see me. Well, my machine is not letting me come. It's drying, so let me see what my machine is not letting me pan back out. I don't know. I have 2 different glasses on. Okay, guys, let me see. Come on, it's not panning out. There we go. There we go. Okay. Lord have mercy. My machine was not letting me. Okay, so we have the biggest one here. The biggest, and we have it on the table. And we are taking the next one, and I'm going to add a little bit more glue because I don't want it to dry. After all that, I'll tell you my shenanigans. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going in between those 2 score lines. We're going in between those 2 score lines and leveling it in between the 2, and with my finger I see it level. Over here I see it level. Let me level this side up a little. Let me level this side up. That glue does want to stick. Okay, now push down. And we put half of our album together. Okay, there we go. So what we do is we have 2. There's 2. I don't know if you can see the gusset's half and half. Okay, so now we're going to take the next size, and the next size is the 8 by 10 that we started with, and it's half an inch in between the score lines, and we take off the tape. We add the glue. We stay in between those 2 score lines, and if you have to fold it over to be able to see, then that's okay. Okay, so we have it ready, and we come in between the 2 score lines. I can see it. I can see the 2 score lines, and I'm coming in between it. And I see that it is lined up down here. And I see that this one needs to be just jigged a hair. And it's ready to push down. And you may want to use like scrap little pieces of paper. And don't matter the size, but just get these score lines used to, and just practice on scrap piece of paper. You know, if you took scrap piece of paper and you scored it 1 inch, then 3/4 inch, then a 1/2 inch, then 1/4, and then you stacked it and practice before you use your good paper. Okay, guys, so we have almost the whole album. We need one more. So our smallest one, it didn't have any tape because I didn't have 1/4 tape on hand, so I'm just going to glue all of it, which the glue is so much stronger. Having this fine tip on this just makes a difference. Okay, so this is a small piece, and I am going to look in between those two score lines, and I'm going to line this up in between the two score lines, and I see that it looks good there. Line it up, and push it down and burnish. And we are done. But I'll tell you the pattern sizes. So let's take the extra glue off of there and glue. And if you get here and it's not level, then you can always, if this is not level by just a hair, you can always measure or cut with scissors or get your trimming paper, trimming machine out. And this lays flat. See how it lays flat and everything? And you can trim whatever paper you need, but you have it. We're done. There's the album. It's all nice, straight, lined up. So to tell you the paper size, so you can do the paper size, I have it on here on my notes, and it is, now stack the deck. See, you had the 4, and then you had the 4 that you attach to each of these, and you take the largest one. The largest one does not get glue on the outside until you're ready to put your pattern paper here. You only do the 3. So you only had to stack 3 inside. So that was so quick and so easy. Okay, size for the pattern paper needed is, you need 16 of them. You need 16, and you need them at 6 3/4. 6 3/4 by 9 3/4, and that will give you a 1/4 inch all the way around. As you can see here, I had a 1/4 inch all the way around. I inked it too, so it might be harder to see. Let me see. Might be able to see that one better. But they are all the same size inside and out. It is 6 3/4 by 9 3/4. The pocket is 4. The pocket is 4 by 7 3/4, but you score on 3 sides, not the top, but you score on the 3 sides a 1/2 inch, and then it gives you a gusset. So you would score, if this is my pocket, there's my 1/2 inch, there's my 1/2 inch, and there's my 1/2 inch, and it would give you a pocket. And then you would cut off the little triangles at the end to get rid of extra paper. If you need help with that, if you want me to decorate a book, just let me know and I'll come back and we can decorate this together. So let me go back over that again. The pocket size is 4 by 7 3/4 and score on 3 sides a 1/2 inch. The spine to put the decorative paper here, the spine is 3/4 by 9 3/4. So there it is, guys. There's the album. I hope you like it. And remember that this baby album, I don't know if you can see, that baby album, I made a couple of videos before, and I will put that link down below too. This one, I only used 4 sheets of paper to make this whole album. This one, I had to use 8 sheets of paper because I wanted it larger. See the size of my hand and the size of my hand? I wanted it larger because I wanted it 7 here and 10 here. And this one is 8.5 by 5. So there it is, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you have any questions, I've already probably made it. I've probably already done it, and I probably have a link, or I don't mind making a video. So thank you. I want you to subscribe and hit that bell if you want to see more of what I've been up to. Have a blessed day, everybody. All my links are down below.